Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. You're joining me, Max, and it's that time, people, where we talk about some of the top 5 articles or podcasts or videos about level or game design. Hey everyone, I hope you are well. As I said, you're joining me, your host, Max Pears, and welcome to the Level Design Lobby. And this one is another great one as we're talking about more great stuff that I'm seeing from the community, that I've seen and other people have shared with me, and I like to share with you as well. Because this is what it's about, this is what game development is about. It's about sharing our information and growing as an industry and as people and designers. So we're going to be talking about a few things as we get into detail about some of these really cool articles or videos that I've found. But before we jump into that, I just want to say, well, happy birthday to the Level Design Lobby. It's been a year now, this month, September, since I created this podcast. I just want to say thank you to everyone, whether you are a Patreon member, a listener, just someone who follows me up on Twitter. Just thank you to all of you. Because it's because of you that we've been able to make some great content. And I hope you've heard and seen the quality of these episodes grown as well. I mean, I'm sure if I re-listened to myself on the very first episode, I'm sure I don't sound as good as I do now. We've also had the introduction of Alex, who's the associate producer as well. He's been able to come on down to help me out with managing the community and also improving things like with the jingle and much more. And again, just thank you to all of you. We do have 3,000 listeners at this current time of me recording this. That's amazing. 3,000 of you people. That's across all platforms, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, any other kind of podcasting app. Thank you all. Truly, it's amazing to have you all here because I didn't know how well this was going to do or if it was going to do well when I first started it, but I've got a lot of kind words from many of you and many support and just saying how they've been listening for a while and just asking me questions. So thank you to every one of you because you are what has made the Level Design Lobby so special. So thank you all very much. And with that, I want to give an update. I did mention this last month, but I don't know, some of you might have missed it. There is not going to be as many episodes on being released this month, with it being a year. And some of you already know I'm giving a lot of talks in September, October time. So I need to focus upon that. And I'm just going to take a bit of time from the podcast. Not stopping at all. There will still be episodes out this month. There's going to be a community episode as well. So if you want to be a part of that, please join the Patreon. We'll have more details of that later on in the episode. And yeah, no, it's been really cool because a lot of people have started to see, obviously with Cyberpunk as well, there's been a lot of work on all fronts for me, and I just need to take some time just to chill. And I always said to myself, every year that comes around is kind of the end of a season. You know, season 1 is now complete, if you will. Almost 40 episodes. I think by the time this month is over, it will be about 40 episodes released. However, I will still be active on Twitter. I will be doing more Twitch streams. I'll put the link down to the channel below in the description, so if you want to come to that. On Twitch streams, what I do is I play the video games and break them down as I play. That way, you can see how I deconstruct a level and things that I look for when I'm also designing levels, and giving a shout out to the level designers and how they've all worked on the different games that we play. So we're doing more of them, and I'm really excited to do more of them, actually. I think it'll be really cool. I'm going to be doing one this Thursday, which will take place on the 6th of the 9th, so Thursday of this week, so 2 days from now. And I'm excited to do that. I think I'm going to continue on with Hyperlight Drifter. It's going to be a little bit further on, though, so we can see that and progress with that one. And yeah, no, I'm super excited for that. I will still be on Discord, and I'll be trying to play more Overwatch with everyone as well. So there'll be some really nice things going on for that as well. So that'll be really nice to see. And I hope you all enjoy it. So I will still be keeping contact, as I said, active on Twitter, Discord, and much more. as for scheduled releases, there'll be a few less than normal. But okay, now that the update's done, let's just go back into it, guys and girls. Let us continue with the magical episode. Sorry for putting my jazz voice on there. That one's for you, Mark. So let's go into some amazing things that we've heard and read and seen thus far. The first one I want to talk about is a Gamma Sutra article called Turning Dead Cells to Appeal to Players Both Fast and Slow. Now, the story of Dead Cells is a very, very interesting one, especially from a business aspect as well. It doesn't break it down in this article, but there are articles about how they run their business, and it's very interesting. Also, I didn't realize Dead Cells was in early access. I did not know that. I've recently bought it for the Switch. I do enjoy playing it. I play it on the plane because it's such a game that you can constantly be quick at and go again. And this one breaks down a lot of things, kind of learning from their early access time, and also the Dead Cells is a nice and interesting mix of different genres of that, from the, I don't even know how you'd class it, but the genre of Dark Souls to roguelite. They've got some very cool elements from both there and put it together. So it's breaking down that and also their community and how they tuned it throughout their early access in order for it to carry over. I also think Dead Cells is a very interesting one because it's actually a game that we've seen finish early access and still have a great amount of hype and attention coming out of it than other games that have done early access. Early access, to me personally, is still a very interesting model. I don't know if it's been fully figured out yet. You know, PUBG is still technically in early access. I don't know if Fortnite is. If someone knows, please do correct me. But a lot of the time you find a lot of games get into early access and then they kind of stop being talked about. There are other examples. I think Ark is another one. But it's a very interesting one, you know. And I think it's great to see how they've used early access for the benefit of their design choice as a video game. So I think that's a really cool one. I think it's worth looking into for all of that. So that is numero uno of my first recommended. Now let's go on to the second one. So this one is a YouTube video, and this was actually suggested on the Discord of the Level Design Lobby. I'm stumbling on my words here. By Watermelon. So thank you very much, sir. And this is how to use weather to convey emotion and tone in level design. And it's breaking down how, and it's not, you know, think about this. This is not a technique that is solely done from level design. This is learnt from films. I've forgotten the very, very famous, why is his name escaped me? Director, Japanese director, hold on. That's his name, Akira Kurosawa. If you look at a lot of his work, he uses weather to not only convey emotions, but draw viewers' eyes to certain things to set the scene or the feeling of the characters we're watching on screen. And it's talking about similar things like this, but how it can be applied to level design. Now, weather theory, like I said, it's not something new, but I do think it's a great one that has been brought up in this video. It's not always thought about sometimes when you're creating the level. Now, we, as games are becoming more and more of the open world, sometimes we have to let go as designers of this. However, in certain missions, it still can be overridden. And yeah, I think it's a great one to come back to and always remember the different techniques. So it's a good one. I think it's a great one. So thank you, Watermelon, on that. And now that we've gone on to numero 2, that'll be a nice segue into, as I just mentioned, Watermelon is part of the Patreon. And here's some of the reasons on why you should join the Patreon.
If you love game and level design as much as we do, then why not consider supporting Level Design Lobby on Patreon? Patreon is a crowdfunding platform that allows people to directly fund the content and creators that they love. From as little as $1 per month, you can help support us in our mission to unite and teach people across the world about the wonderful and unique field of game and level design, and get some great reward perks in return, such as access to the Level Design Lobby community Discord, bi-monthly webinars, level design weekends, and much more. So head on over to patreon.com/Level Design Lobby for more information and to pledge your support today. Finally, we'd just like to say a massive thank you to all our current backers. It's thanks to the generous support of people like you that we are able to grow and can continue to bring you awesome, new and exciting content. So thank you. And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that nice little segue. So after that, let's go on to the third one. which is a great video, again, on Gamasutra, which is by that game company. Most of you will know them from their breakout hit Journey. I think they've got their new game, it hasn't been released yet, Flow for mobile. I'm very, very excited for that one. And how they talk about hiring people. I know some people here who listen to the podcast are actually indie devs in smaller teams or looking to grow their team out themselves. So I think it's a very interesting one to think about. How do you hire the right people? I've worked on personal projects with people, and sometimes it's worked with people and sometimes it's not. So I think it's a great video in terms of showing how we can find different people to work with us, to push us, to help not only you grow, but also your project as well. And it's a different one that we don't always think about. Not many of us will look into hiring people. However, I still think it's an interesting one, because maybe when you're applying for a job, the people that you are interviewed by, because remember, an interview isn't just a one-way interview, it's you seeing if you want to work there as well. Never forget that. So maybe you can see when they're interviewing you, what are they like? Do you think you will gel well with this team? Have a thought about that. I thought it was a very interesting and very different video, and I was really, really excited to see that one. Now we're going to move on to numero 4, which is actually a podcast which I've recommended in the past, but I really liked this series here, and I thought it was a great one. And it is Dev Game Club. I've mentioned them multiple times. I think they're a great podcast, one of the best ones in terms for game development, in my opinion, as two of these veteran game developers go back and play through classic games and break them down to see what impact they had on them now when they're replaying it, but also had an impact on the industry that we are currently all playing today. So I think it's a great one. I think it's a really cool one, and it's actually episode 120, Deus Ex Part 1. This is a 5-part series, but I think, again, it's a great one because Deus Ex, especially the original, has such a huge impact on many things of game design, and I think it's one of the ones worth coming back to in order to break down how amazing this was for game design. I think it's a good one without a shadow of a doubt. So do check that one. From one podcast to another, I do want to give them a big shout out because, as I said, it's all about us growing together as an industry. So I'm really excited to see what they continuously bring. And man, they've got a lot of episodes, putting me to shame. I thought we were doing well with 40 episodes. They've got, 129 or something crazy like that, 130? So keep up the hard work, guys. I really appreciate it. And for anyone who hasn't, do go check that out. And now for the final one, I want to recommend checking out a YouTube video called Good Game Design Bosses. And this is a mini-series by a YouTube channel called Snowman Gaming. And he's got such an interesting one because I don't believe he's a developer, but it's great to see this also come from a player's perspective, as someone who's passionate about games, because seeing what they like as players and what they're learning from us as developers is always so interesting. And it's breaking down good game design for bosses. I thought it was a really cool one. It talks about, certain things as telegraphing, how we should be challenging players when we're making bosses. These sort of things here, which again are brilliant. They're fantastic to learn from. And I also like that stuff like YouTube, and this is not new by any stretch of the imagination, but having such an impact where players are now learning some basics about design and sharing their opinions on it, because it helps us as devs understand what the players are looking for, understand how they feel. I think it's a great one and definitely worth having a look at here, guys and girls. It is a really cool episode. Now, we kind of whizzed through those ones very fast. I do apologise, it was not my intention. But some great stuff there for everyone to check out. I just want to say thank you again for this year. It has been an incredible, amazing one. I've really, really enjoyed it. So thank you all again so much, because it's been brilliant. It truly has been ace. So as I said, there won't be as many episodes out this month. I think it's either just going to be 2 or 3. I haven't fully decided yet. But we've got loads of stuff to come out as well with me doing some more Twitch streams. Anyway, thank you all again very much. So if you do want to contact me, you do, in case you want to talk more, you can find me on Twitter at MaxPairs. You can email in leveldesignlobby@gmail.com. And then you can come check out the Patreon. Because as I said, and I've said it a few times in this video, there's some amazing stuff in there, and we've got a great community around us. So please don't be afraid and come join us, because we're constantly growing and getting better, and it helps the podcast improve as well. So thank you all very, very much, and I will catch you all next time.